So when's the musical episode of Merlin?
They just asked. Yeah, you'd have to ask Johnny and Julian about that. I don't know about that one. Maybe we've done a couple of things for children in need, which were very funny. So maybe we might get a little singing one. Okay. But then, how does Uther sing?
You tell us.
What kind of a voice does he have? All these things have to be thought about. He could be like an old blues singer. That's good.
Well, you've shown great range in singing from Repo. I mean, the two different voices you use for Repo.
I called myself.
Sorry.
It could be a magical singer.
Oh no! Maybe like Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart.
In medieval times.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah, one thing I love about King Uther is that he really has to walk this tightrope with keeping the kingdom in order and everything, keeping the magic out, and also kind of keeping Arthur at bay too. So he's got a lot on his plate.
Thank you. I mean, I'm glad that it's that my job, as far as I'm concerned, is to try and make somebody who could be fairly two-dimensional. And I'm very grateful to be working with people who, they are as keen for me to explore that as I am. The fact that he is human, and to err is to be human. He's made some very bad decisions. Quite a lot are going to be coming back to haunt in some way. The old turkeys are coming back to roost. But he's an old school father, old school king. He knows the only way he knows how is to do it with fear. And I was saying on the other table, an obvious analogy for me, my partner works with animals, and she works in a very non-aggressive way, and it's amazing how how humans still relate to domination. That's what we do. We dominate. We think that's the way to do things, and ultimately there is another way. There's a gentler way, and that's what Arthur will eventually achieve. I don't think he has a problem with keeping Arthur in check. I just think he doesn't sometimes think that Arthur is on quite the same page. He's not. But that worries him because he's grooming him to be king, and there are, forces hanging out on the borders, just ready to jump in and take over. The question about magic is whether he's right to have felt that sorcery needs to be, because we'll find out more about his journey and his acquaintance with sorcery this third season.
Cool.
Does he by any chance have a hidden intention for Arthur? Maybe that's in your head that doesn't come out. Maybe that's not in the script.
I don't think so. I think he's as far as Arthur is at the moment is showing himself to be a very good prince in waiting. Ultimately, he is. I think he's everything that Uther would want. I mean, he questions his decisions. As far as he's concerned, if there's a famine, you retain the crops for what's left for the troops, because if you give it to the people, there's no one to protect the people. Makes perfect sense. It's harsh, but Arthur says, but then what's the point of protecting the kingdom if the people are all dead? You can see both sides, and I think it's it's quite. It raises some interesting questions about. I would like to be king in the Dark Ages, but I don't know. What would you think? What might the secret agenda for Arthur be?
I don't know. It was a completely blank question. I always wonder because of course when actors create backstories and that we never know about, and sometimes actors have a little secret that they know that comes out in their performance.
Well, Uther has secrets that will gradually surface. He has his take on things. I mean, in episode 8 of second season, he's confronted by his son with what he may or may not have done, but his take on it is quite specific. I did what I felt I had to do, but there are secrets, and they are surfacing.
American.
Just because I'm not saying more than that.
Can't get it up.
American audiences mainly know you as Giles, and character who not only likes magic, but essentially towards the end of the series ends up becoming, in some ways, especially in having to grow up almost a wizard. What are the challenges in playing such a diametrically opposite style role?
I mean, the challenge is to make him human. That's the main thing, because he could be very two-dimensional. Giles was fully fleshed with an extremely complex backstory, from the word go, and actually Uther's not far off that. I mean, as I say, as we're going through season 3, and the boys have. It's lovely to be part of something which has a very clear story arc from the beginning. We're not going from season to season going, what can this season be about? They know. They've got a very, very, very specific idea of the arcs, all the arcs, and where they lead us. And consequently, it's fun playing somebody who is a bigot, who is closed-minded, very just because it's fun. It's fun. Actors always say, "Oh, it's great fun playing the bad guy." It's fun playing the bad guy for me if you can find his pathology, you can find the reasons for what he is, who he is, and what he does. Then it's fun. For me, just playing somebody who's playing bad is kind of like,
One more question, and I must take him away.
Now, you found love this past season.
I did.
Unfortunately, it was with a troll.
She farted and died. She died in a very unpleasant smell. Yes.
That was one of the funnier episodes, though.
Thank you.
It was hilarious.
But I also, somebody asked me about that one over there, and I think it also served its purpose in this this general finding out who Uther is, because it illuminated his softer side, albeit why did she do that? But it was great fun to play, and I'm very fond of Sarah. We've worked with each other before, and she's such fun and such a trooper. She had to be in that prosthetic for a long time. And she's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It wasn't difficult to be in love with her, even with all the stuff. And some of the food she had to eat was very unpleasant. It was mashed up chocolate banana and something. It was something really. She just had to shove it in, take after take after take.
She went after it, though. She really went after it.
I know. Well, that's the kind of actress she is. But it was nice to sort of, it's nice to be able to laugh at it, because otherwise, if you just set him up as this ogre, it's. I guess it's there's more to him than just being the bad guy. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, sneak one in. At the end of the day, push comes to shove, Uther has to choose between Arthur and Camelot. Which does he pick?
Oh, that sucks. Don't know. I guess Camelot. Yes. Because that's his job. Yeah, I guess that's a no-brainer.
Well, you know what? Gary's not here yet. Real quick.
If given the opportunity, would you have played Doctor Who?
As I said at the time, one iconic sci-fi figure per generation is probably.
Okay.
But
We would have loved to have seen it.
I'd love to.
And you know what? I don't want to ever rule it out. In my head, it's a chance.
Okay, that's cool. I'm with it.